Hey guys, it's Miss Waters again with your second flip lesson. Today we're going to be talking about dividing fractions. Okay guys, let's recap what we learned today in class. Today we covered multiplying fractions. Multiplying fractions is pretty easy because all you have to do is multiply across. So let's talk about the first one on the left. So we are given 2/3 times 1/9. First, we multiply the numerators, and then we multiply the denominators. Keeping all of them in their respective positions, we get 2 times 1 over 3 times 9, which gives us 2 over 27. Okay, so let's look at the one in the middle. We're given 1/2 times 2 1/3. When we're given a mixed number, we need to convert that to an improper fraction before we can do anything. So, converting 2 1/3 to an improper fraction, we get 1/2 times 7 over 3. Multiplying the numerators and the denominators across, we're given 1 times 7 and 2 times 3, which gives us 7 over 6. Okay, so let's take a look at the last example. We're given 2 1/2 times 1 1/4. Remember, when we have mixed numbers, before we can do anything with them, we need to convert them into improper fractions. That is consistent with everything you're going to be learning in the 6th grade. So, converting 2 1/2 and 1 1/4 into improper fractions, we get 5 over 2 and 5 over 4. We're multiplying these together, so first you multiply the numerators and then you're multiplying the denominators. Then we get 5 times 5 over 2 times 4, which gives us 25 over 8. Also note that 2 over 27, 7 over 6, and 25 over 8 have no common factors in their fractions, so all these fractions are in their simplest form. The reciprocal of a fraction is the multiplicative inverse, meaning when you multiply the reciprocal by the original fraction, their product is 1. Note that there is only one unique reciprocal. We know that multiplicative inverse looks like a really big and scary word, but I promise it is super easy. So how do you find the reciprocal? It is actually incredibly easy. First, let's consider the reciprocal of a whole number, 3. So, we're going to draw our fraction bar. We're going to put 3 on the bottom in the denominator spot, and then 1 in the numerator spot, giving us 1/3. Finding the reciprocal of a proper fraction, you're going to draw your fraction bar. When you find reciprocals, remember, we're flipping. So you're going to put the numerator in the denominator spot and the denominator in the numerator spot. It may help to draw arrows as you put things in their spots. So 5 goes on top and 3 goes on the bottom. It is so simple. The reciprocal of a unit fraction now. So we'll draw our fraction bar. We'll put the denominator on top and our numerator on the bottom. This might look familiar because it's just 4. Now let's find the reciprocal of an improper fraction. Like a proper fraction, we'll do the same exact thing. We'll draw our fraction bar, and then we're going to flip our numbers. So 5 goes on top and 7 goes on the bottom. Now we want to find the reciprocal of a mixed number. So we are given 5 1/4. Before we do anything, we want to change that mixed number into an improper fraction. So given 5 1/4, we're going to multiply the denominator by the whole number, which gives us 20. And then we're going to add that to the numerator, keeping it above the original denominator, which gives us 21 over 4. Remember, when we're finding the reciprocal, we just flip it. So now we're at the stage where we can just flip the numbers around. So we're given, I'll draw the arrows just in case you guys forgot, 4 over 21. And that is our reciprocal of 5 1/4. So what does finding the reciprocal of a fraction have to do with anything? Well, our method for dividing fractions by fractions is to keep, change, flip. And that flip stage is where we use our reciprocal knowledge. Follow along with the steps on the left-hand side in our examples. So the keep stage, we're going to keep the first fraction the same. The change stage, which is step number 2, we're going to change the division symbol to a multiplication symbol. And finally, we're going to find the reciprocal of the second fraction, which means we're going to flip it, and then we multiply across. So we just turned a division problem into a multiplication problem. So, for example 1, we have 2/5 times 11/7 by following the first 3 steps. Multiplying across, we get 22 over 35. We can't simplify this anymore, so we're done. Going to example number 2, 1/3 divided by 4/15. First, you're going to keep the first fraction the same, change the division symbol to a multiplication symbol, and flip the last fraction. So that gives us 1/3 times 15 over 4. Multiplying across, we get 15 over 12. This isn't in its simplest form because 15 and 12 have 3 in common, and that gives us 5 divided by 4. On your own, try 2 over 7 divided by 5 over 8. We'll talk about it tomorrow in class. See you tomorrow.